Welcome to class first year chemistry. In this video, we'll discuss about redox reactions. Redox reactions are of two types, oxidation reactions and reduction reactions. In the term redox, red comes from reduction and ox comes from oxidation. Now, oxidation reactions can be explained in two different terms. Number one, in terms of oxygen and hydrogen, and number two, in terms of electrons. Same is the case for reduction reactions. They can be explained in terms of hydrogen and oxygen and in terms of electrons as well. Let's see redox reactions in terms of hydrogen and oxygen. Oxidation reactions. The addition of oxygen in any molecule, compound, element is called as oxidation reaction. For example, when nitrogen is reacted with oxygen, it produces nitrogen dioxide. Since oxygen is being added in nitrogen, so this reaction is called as oxidation reaction. Here is another example. In this example, carbon is being reacted with oxygen and produces carbon dioxide. Since oxygen is being added in carbon, so this is addition of oxygen and termed as oxidation reaction. Removal of hydrogen from any element, compound, molecule is termed as oxidation reaction. For example, when sodium hydride is decomposed, it liberates hydrogen gas and sodium metal. Since hydrogen is being removed from sodium hydride, it is example of oxidation reaction. Similarly, when hydrogen sulfide is decomposed, it produces hydrogen gas and sulfur. Hydrogen is removed, so this from hydrogen sulfide, it is also example of oxidation reactions. Reduction reactions. Removal of oxygen from any compound is called reduction. Keep in mind, addition of oxygen is called oxidation, but removal of oxygen is called reduction. For example, when carbon dioxide is decomposed, it liberates carbon and oxygen gas. Oxygen is being removed from carbon dioxide, so this is reduction reaction. Similarly, when nitrogen dioxide is decomposed, it liberates nitrogen gas and oxygen gas. Oxygen is being removed from nitrogen dioxide, so this is reduction reaction. Addition of hydrogen is called reduction reaction. Again, keep in mind, removal of hydrogen is termed as oxidation, but addition of hydrogen is termed as reduction reaction. For example, when hydrogen is reacted with sulfur, it produces hydrogen sulfide. Here hydrogen gas is being added or hydrogen is being added in sulfur. So this is addition of hydrogen and reduction reaction. Similarly, when hydrogen is reacted with sodium, it produces sodium hydride, metal hydride. Addition of hydrogen takes place and this is reduction reaction. Now let's see redox reactions in terms of electrons. First, see oxidation reactions. Loss of electron by an atom is called as oxidation reaction. For example, sodium, which belongs to group number 1 and has ability to lose one electron as it has one electron in valence shell. So when it loses one electron, it produces sodium ion, and since this involves loss of electron, this is called oxidation reaction. Calcium belongs to group number 2 and has the ability to lose 2 electrons, producing calcium plus 2 ion. So this is also oxidation reaction as it involves loss of electron. Loss of electron by an ion is also called oxidation reaction. For example, when iron, which belongs to group number transition elements, has the ability to show more than one oxidation state. It shows +2 oxidation state and +3. When iron +2 loses another electron, it produces iron +3 ion, and this loss of electron is termed as oxidation reaction. Same is the case for copper. Copper shows two oxidation states, +1 and +2. When copper +1 loses another electron, it produces copper +2, and this loss of electron is termed as oxidation reaction. When an atom loses electron, it gains a positive charge. Therefore, sodium ion, calcium ion, iron ion, and copper ion all have positive oxidation state. But when an atom gains electrons, it gains a negative charge. It means the oxidation state will be assigned a negative sign. Reduction reactions. Gain of electron by an atom is called as reduction reaction. For example, this is an unbalanced equation. Nitrogen belongs to group number 5 and can gain 3 electrons to fulfill its octet. When it gains 3 electrons, it produces nitrogen minus 3. So this gain of electron is termed as reduction reaction. Now see another unbalanced equation for fluorine. For fluorine belongs to group number 7 and can gain 1 electron to complete its octet. When it gains 1 electron, it produces fluoride ion F minus 1. So this is also example of reduction reaction. Gain of electron by an anion is also called as reduction reaction. For example, oxygen belongs to group number C and can gain 2 electrons. When oxygen gains 1 electron, it produces oxygen minus 1. But when this oxygen minus 1 gains another electron, it produces oxygen minus 2. So this gain of electron by ion is also called reduction reaction. Both oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously. But how? Let's see with an example. This is a balanced equation for sodium. Each sodium atom loses 1 electron and produces sodium ion. As this reaction involves loss of electrons, so this is termed as oxidation reaction. Now these 2 electrons are gained by chloride ion chlorine atoms. In a chlorine molecule, each chlorine atom gains 1 electron, produces chloride ion, as shown in this equation. Since this reaction involves gain of electron by chlorine atoms, so this reaction is termed as reduction reaction. Now combining these both above reactions, we gain this net ionic equation. And this net ionic equation, there is both oxidation and reduction, therefore it is termed as redox reaction. So it is clear where will be oxidation, there will must be reduction reaction. So both these reactions take place simultaneously. Oxidation number. What is oxidation number? It is also called oxidation state. It is apparent charge on an atom in a molecule. For example, in water, the oxygen has -2 charge. So -2 is the oxidation number, oxidation state of oxygen in water. The apparent charge on an atom in an ion is also called oxidation state. For example, in sulfate ion, the sulfur has +6 charge. So +6 is the oxidation state of sulfur in sulfate ion. Rules for assigning oxidation number. Here are a few rules. It is always 0 for an atom in free state. In free state means that the atom will has not lost or not gained electrons. So it will have 0 oxidation number. Sodium 0, magnesium 0, etc. It is +1, +2, +3 for elements of group 1, 2 and 3 respectively. It means that, for example, group number 1 elements have 1 electron in their valence shell, so they can lose 1 electron. When they lose 1 electron, their oxidation state is +1, as in sodium +1, potassium +1 and lithium +1. Group number 2 elements have 2 electrons in their valence shell, so they can lose 2 electrons. When they lose 2 electrons, their oxidation state is always +2. For example, magnesium +2, calcium +2. For group number 3 elements, they have 3 electrons in their valence shell and they can lose 3 electrons. When they lose 3 electrons, their oxidation state is always +3. For example, boron +3 and aluminium +3. It is negative for electronegative elements because electronegative elements always gain electron, and when an atom gains electron, its oxidation state is always negative, as in oxygen -2 and chloride -1. It is positive for electropositive elements because electropositive elements always tend to lose electrons. When an atom loses electron, it gains a positive oxidation number. Therefore, sodium and aluminum both have positive oxidation number. In all compounds, hydrogen has +1 charge, but in metal hydride, it has -1 charge. Hydrogen has +1 charge because it has 1 electron in its valence shell. When it loses 1 electron, its oxidation state will be +1. But in metal hydride, it gained 1 electron, therefore its oxidation state is -1. This is clear through an example. For example, balanced equation, sodium, each sodium atom loses 1 electron, producing sodium ion and 1 electron. These electrons are gained by hydrogen molecule. Each hydrogen atom in hydrogen molecule gain 1 electron and produces hydrogen ion. So you can see that in metal hydrides, hydrogen has -1 oxidation state. Thus, combining these both two equations, we can get ionic equation, net ionic equation. So in metal hydrides, hydrogen will have -1 oxidation state. In all its compounds, oxygen has -2 charge except for peroxides, OF2, oxygen fluoride, and superoxides. For example, for normal oxide, for example water, oxidation state is calculated as oxidation state of hydrogen is +1, so putting values. So here you can see that oxygen has -2 charge oxidation number in normal oxides. But for oxygen fluoride, putting the values as oxidation state of fluorine is -1, so we get as oxygen has +2 charge in oxygen fluoride. For peroxides, for example, barium oxide, oxidation state of barium is +2, so putting values. Here you can see oxidation state of oxygen is -1 in all peroxides. Now let's talk about for superoxides. For example, sodium superoxide. Sodium has +1 oxidation state, so putting these values. So we see that oxygen has -1/2 oxidation number in all superoxides. So oxygen have different oxidation state in different compounds and can be calculated in this way. In neutral molecule, the algebraic sum of oxidation number of all the elements is 0. We are talking about neutral molecules. Neutral molecule means the charge on the overall molecule will be 0. For example, for HCl, which is a neutral molecule, the sum will be equal to 0. Oxidation number of hydrogen and chlorine will be equal to 0. Hydrogen has +1 charge and chlorine has -1. So putting these values, we get the sum equal to 0. So for neutral molecules, sum is always equal to 0. In ion, the algebraic sum of oxidation number of all elements equals the charge on that ion. We are talking about ion, not the neutral molecule. For example, nitrate is an ion and have the charge -1. So the sum must be equal to -1. Nitrogen has +5 charge and oxygen has -2 charge. So putting these values and evaluating them, we get -1. The sum equals to -1. So in ions, the sum is equal to the charge on that ion. Now let's have another example for sulfate ion, sulfate radical, which has charge -2. Sulfur has +6 and oxygen has -2 charge. Putting these values, we get the sum equal to -2. So the sum is equal to -2, which is the charge on the sulfate radical. Now let's see how to find the oxidation number. First, write an equation such the sum of oxidation number of all elements equals the charge on that ion or molecule. For example, in water, we have to find the oxidation number of oxygen. So we write an equation. 2 into oxidation number of hydrogen plus oxidation number of oxygen is equal to charge on molecule. Here the charge on molecule on water is 0 and we multiply oxidation number of hydrogen by 2 because there are 2 hydrogen atoms in one water molecule. Oxidation state of hydrogen is +1. So putting these values, we get that oxygen has -2 charge in water molecule. Now let's talk about an ion, a radical. In phosphate radical, oxidation state of phosphorus. We have to find oxidation state of phosphorus. So writing the equation, oxidation number of phosphorus plus 4 multiplied by oxidation number of oxygen equal to charge on ion. In phosphate radical, the charge on ion is -3 and we multiply oxidation number of 4 of oxygen by 4 because there are 4 oxygen atoms in phosphate radical. So putting the values, as oxygen has -2 charge, so we will calculate phosphorus oxidation number. So we come to know that for phosphorus has +5 charge in phosphate radical. So this is how we can calculate oxidation number of different elements in different molecules, ions or compounds. Thank you for watching our video.